Welcome, everybody, to a new analysis of trigonometrics. This is the 10th episode, and we're going to have a look at an index rather than a single stock. Namely, we're going to describe what has happened in the last years on the Russell 2000 or the small cap US index. And by using the T cycle analysis, we're going to make a forecast regarding the future direction of the price. The T-cycle analysis is a methodology that was initially developed by the three guru of the trading, namely Elliott, Gunn, and Hurst, and that was over time improved by different analysts. The T-cycle analysis was born here in Tridomics to adapt the methodology to the worldwide stock market as well as index. So let's jump on the small cap 2000 index and let's have a look a little bit back to this low that occurred on the 16th of June 2022. With this low, we have had a downward yearly cycle that has been slightly negative, as this low here closed the cycle slightly lower in terms of price compared to the low from which it was born. The total duration of this yearly downward cycle has been of 343 days. For your reference here, there is a legend where you can always consult the duration of the different cycles. Here we are talking about a T plus 5. In this case, we have had a stretched T plus 5, 343 bars, which is longer duration compared to the standard duration, is more than 338. So it's a T plus 5H or T plus 5 hybrid. But in here, we have had a T plus 2 Bayer tongue. If you don't know what a Bayer tongue is, please refer to our video introduction to the T cycle analysis so you can have a better understanding what a Bayer tongue is and why there is the T plus 2 between T plus 5 and the new rising T plus 5. As the other flip of the coin, we have had, and this is the interesting thing, an upward yearly cycle that potentially has closed with this top that occurred recently, so the 28th of March 2024. The total duration of this yearly upward cycle has been of 289 days, so quite a long yearly upward cycle, considering that the total duration or standard duration can last until 338. Of course, you can find the segmentation of the downward cycle. So in this case, a T plus 5 has been made of the first T plus 4 and the second T plus 4. So 2 6-month cycles that had generated a T plus 5. And here has been the same. So first T plus 4 upward cycle and the second T plus 4 upward cycle. Now, what is important now to understand is what is happening or what has happened since March 2024. And here we zoom in. So first of all, let's try to understand at which point in time we are considering the downward cycles. So from this low, we have reached a total duration of 119 days. 119 days is more than a minimum duration for a T plus 4. Actually, a T plus 4 can last between 94 and 168 days. And we have had a bounce back to the upside approximately around the medium average 200 periods, or moving average 200 periods. The first downward cycle 3 months has been of this kind. And here we have another 3 months downward cycle that potentially has closed with this low. And if we gauge the total duration, we have 65 days for the second T plus 3. And for the first T plus 3, we have a duration of 54 days. Now, the interesting thing is the following. We have already all the conditions to generate a new T plus 4. And generating a new T plus 4, it means that we should have in the next days a push back to the upside. And we cannot go back to this low for a minimum of 24 days. Because in order to generate any grade of cycles, we need 2 degrees left of the cycles we are focusing on. So if this is a T plus 4, we need a T plus 2 as a total duration 24 days that cannot go lower to this low. Therefore, we need to have a certain push to the upside. But given that we have already had all the conditions to close a T plus 5, here we might have further push to the downside before having this the generation of the T plus 4. Meaning that if from this top we have not just a T plus 4, but a T plus 5, we cannot go back up to the stop before a T plus 3, so before 38 days. So we need to stay lower to this top at $2,135 at least for 48 days, which is we cannot go back to the top or the absolute top before the 5th of June 2024. It means that potentially we might have something of this kind and then a further push to the back down again before going up. But let's not imagine the right side of the chart. Let's stick to the facts. First of all, if we gauge the total duration now, we have arrived at 18 bars. And here we have the first TU. So this is a weekly upward cycle that closed to onto this top. So here we can put the Tracy or weekly upward cycle. Now from this top, we have at here 10 days. So this is potentially the new second weekly. And here I put always a question mark because we have to confirm it by having this candle today that has to close in the red or below the top. So this is the first weekly upward cycle, the second weekly upward cycle, and here we have to see in the next days whether there will be another upward cycle doing this shape or even doing this shape. If we go over this top before the minimum duration of 6 days, we can expect the extension of the total duration and the direction of the price on the upside for the remaining time. Otherwise, if we don't go in the next 2 or 3 days over the absolute top at $2,000.10, then we might expect a shape of this kind. Even because we have also to consider the downward cycle, the weekly downward cycle, that between 6 to 11 days, they have to generate a shape of this kind. Or they can also do something like this. So we need something like this. So we need actually to see what is going to happen in the next days. This is our checkpoint so $2,000.10 to better understand whether we're going to have a monthly cycle of this shape, or rather a monthly cycle that will not actually close to a level of retracement that might be to the 50% or to the 61.8%. Okay, so this is our checkpoint. Let's see in the next weeks what is going to happen. I repeat that it's important that if this is not a T plus 4 but has already one of the conditions or the swings broken up to be a T plus 5, here we have also the red super trend, we cannot go back over to this top at least, and I repeat, at least until June. But it might be also longer time. Here we have to monitor the strength of this push towards the backup to understand whether this will be a T plus 4 or not. It might also be that we can have a first T plus 3, a second T plus 3, and a third T plus 3. So be aware that we might have also shape of this kind. At the moment, there is a retracement ongoing. And let's monitor the strength of the push of towards the upside. Here we might have already resistance given by the moving average 50 periods and 21 periods. Here we have had already a bit of support close to the moving average 200 period, but it's not given by fact that we can also retrace and going back down to the low at $1,931. So this is the situation so far. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to have more updates regarding all the videos issued on a regular basis on the stocks and every 5 episodes on the index, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching.